Hello and welcome to the Banner Saga 2. I'm RMP792 and yeah, I've got to say, I completely forgot that the Banner Saga 2 was coming out until I saw the release information for it on Steam. Now it came out basically at the same time as Battlefleet Gothic Armada. I think it was something like 2 days earlier. But as I was already planned to do that, and I figured I'd do this at some point, I shifted this to the week after that. Which I think is fair enough. I mean, let's face it, I don't exactly get my stuff out, punctually anyway. I mean, if I was going to even attempt to get reviews out on the day the game's released, I'd have to have the game at least a week early. Because that's just how I roll. In fact, I'd need it 2 weeks early. Based on the way I review. So unless developers want to start giving me pre-release copies, which would be nice. But yes. So, this is, as you might expect, the sequel to the Banner Saga, which I covered all the way back in about episode 25. Given that we're barreling towards episode 100 at this point, that was quite a long time ago. So, my thoughts on the Banner Saga, because I did go and look up my review for it, were basically, I really liked the combat system, but I felt the story lacked sufficient depth to its characters. There were a lot of big events, but I never really got invested in any of the individuals involved with them, because because the game's clearly attempted to tell the story of the caravan rather than the people in it, and I find it difficult to care about a caravan. So hopefully they can improve on that in this game, give us a few more scenes that are just personal scenes between the characters rather than everything having to be plot focused. But hopefully we will see. I should mention at this point that I didn't actually pay for my copy of this game. Somebody was actually kind enough to buy this for me for the purposes of reviewing it. Now, I'm going to state right now, if people do that in future, I do not guarantee to play the game in question. There is a chance I will do it, but I do not guarantee it. If you definitively want to ensure that I review something, or cover it in a Let's Play, the way to do that is through Patreon. There's a link to my Patreon below, and if you want that, that is the option there. If you buy things for me, I'm going to appreciate it, obviously, but I'm not going to guarantee to play them. Fair enough? Okay. Now, I didn't actually remember to ask the person who sent this to me if I could use their name on camera, so I'm not going to give it to you, and yeah, because I forgot to do that. So, anyway. So, my standard opening spiel, if you haven't seen my stuff before, I record my stuff about a week in advance. It's currently Tuesday the 3rd of March? Yeah, Tuesday the 3rd of May. And I will be attempting to get this entire game recorded this week. Now, since yesterday was a bank holiday, so I didn't have time to record, I've only got 4 days to record this game, so hopefully it's not going to be too long. My upper limit for amount of things I will upload in 1 week is usually 25. There are some exceptions to that, like last week's Battlefleet Gothic Armada had 28 parts, and I ended up thinking, oh bugger, it's not worth spreading that over 2 weeks. So I crammed it all into 1 week. At the point I'm recording, parts, I think it's 1 through 11 are now online. But yeah, so as a general rule of thumb, 25 parts is a good standard basis for what you will get as an absolute maximum. And each part will be somewhere in the region of about half an hour. I'll look for convenient stopping points. Yeah. Also, this game as I understand it, this game carries on pretty much directly from the end of the Banner Saga 1. So if you haven't either played that or seen my Let's Play of it, I suggest you go and do one of those two things. We'll watch the recap anyway, because as I say, it's been quite a while since I...
When the sun stopped in the sky, life continued as normal.
Ooh, we're actually going to get full voice acting in this one.
Then the stone-armored dredge reappeared. Ancient foes from the far northern reaches. And the world was thrown into chaos. Giant Varl defenders were slaughtered. Their strongholds destroyed.
Yep.
Now Hakon is the Varl king and protects who is left of his race.
Vaguely remember that guy.
Rook, a humble hunter and father of Alette,
Closest thing we had to a main
found
character.
himself leading frightened clansmen towards safety. His caravan crossed paths with Juno and Eyvind, two of the mysterious spellweavers known as Menders, who know something about the massive, mountain-breaking serpent on the loose.
Yes, I remember seeing that thing. They never really explained it.
In Borsgard, a town under the protection of the mercenary leader Bolverk, both Varl and humans stood against a dredge general,
And we killed the bastard.
the immortal Sunder, known as Bellower. Juno devised a way to stop Bellower, but it cost the life of one held dear.
Yes, and I can't remember whether it was Rook or his daughter who got killed. Because it's one of the two of them, depending on the decision you
saga
make.
Continues.
And I genuinely can't remember which one got killed in my playthrough. So yes, that was the. So yes, I remembered a lot of that. But anyway, into the new game we go. Import save game. Profile 1. That was the one we did originally. So yeah, it looks like Alette's the one who survived, which is fine. So yes, I did replay the Banner Saga a couple of times, as you can tell from the fact there were 3 profiles. So yes, this is continued directly on from my Let's Play. Okay, for a second I thought he was saying something important.
Time continues washing over us, moment after moment, like waves on a coast.
Oh, that sounded painful.
Some more fierce, more violent than others. So few of my kind, the giant war, remain alive. Even so, I find myself wondering if humans, while able to bear children, suffer more for the loss of loved ones. Several weeks have passed since we slew the Sunder known as Bellower, but the chaos of the world did not wither as we hoped. The world is breaking.
Let's face it, it's been implied that they're running from something far worse.
We sail aboard hastily crafted ships for the safety of Arberain, the human capital. But the river curses us with a clear view of the dredge, assaulting another hopeless village.
The art continues to be gorgeous. I'll freely admit that that was one of the things about the first game that I had absolutely no problem with at all. The art is fantastic. Saga continues, round +5. Move away from those glowing rocks. This one's mine. Well, you guys kind of suck. No! No! To the depths with you! Well, you guys kind of suck. Aha! Here she comes. We'll handle the rest. Pull back! Who the hell is left to pull back? My thanks, strangers. Better let him keep fighting. Drag around the screen, see surroundings. Check on continue. Yep. Thank you. Yes, I know all this. Assuming they haven't changed it significantly. Yep. Move to there. Initiate smashing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know. He's going to take 8 damage and die. Excellent. Without an enemy to reach, the stretch current will choose to smash an obstacle in its way. Obstacles on the combat board will make you change tactics. Plan wisely. Okay. That's new. Don't have an issue with it. That's a good, yeah. Yep. Move to there. Okay. smack him. That guy took at least a little bit of damage. So yeah. So he's gone to pillage mode. Okay, so you can rest. Fire booster damage. Take him down. Now, has she gone back to whatever level she was at initially? I genuinely can't... I can't remember what level she was at the end of the game. Because I don't... No, I think I did level her up. The villagers' reactions range from terrified by the foes to awestruck at your arrival. The leader approaches and bows in front of the river Ivor. Sorry, in front of the river Ivor? And bows in front of Ivor. Your timing makes me think the gods have returned. Please, He stops when Ivor nods his head towards you. The man peers under your hood. A girl leads those who saved us from those things? She ordered us to land, and these things are dredge, like the ones you probably heard about as a kid. Between losing so many clansmen and this, I feel I'm not myself. I thank you, child. He whips his cloak back with a flourish. I'm Elo, the Skald. And your name? Alette. And this is Ivor. Ah, names destined for history. Sounds like the brave poet is going to use us in a few proper verses. I'll even make them rhyme, given the time. His smile seems genuine, as much as the concern that follows. Do you have any idea what might be causing the deep rumbling underfoot? Deep rumbling? Could be that giant serpent again. The serpent in the sun? Radomir. I'm no holy man, but joking about dead gods feels wrong. I don't think the sun serpent would break mountains and try to swallow us all. Who could say with the sun stopped in the sky like it is? Alio looks sceptical. Tell me, did you just come from Borsgard? We heard rumour the Sundra Bellower was sacking the town. We killed Bellower. Allo pauses and looks to Ivor, who confirms your statement with a nod. Indeed! History indeed! Sunder Slayers are here among us! Depths, there's so many questions to ask! I'll have to wait until we're all safely back on the longships and leaving this place. The Skald nods his understanding, but another question creases his brow. Leave? Not to sound ungrateful, but this place, it's all we have. It's our home. I felt the same when Skagar was overrun. Except we had the sense to leave while we were able. But my children, you don't understand. I know exactly what it means to be a child stripped from your home and family. Allo takes a step back before lowering his head. Packing and tending our dead will take some time, but I'll have everyone on the ships soon. You watch Alio rejoin his family. Moves his hands too much when he talks. It's unsettling. You smile, but say nothing. People think we're heroes now. The world is breaking in more ways than one. It's not the first time you've been called a hero, young Gvar. Ivor, your father's closest friend, looks unamused. He's one of the giants known as Val, and has fought the dredge in the northern winters, personally killed one of their generals, the Sundra Rays, and lost an arm to the Sunda Bellower. Your humour reminds me of your father's, since we're talking about things we'd rather avoid. I know he's gone, but I don't know how to let him go. No doubt Oddleaf could help more with that than a fatherless, loveless Varl like me. You look up to see Ivor, staring off in the distance. Rook was the closest thing I had to a friend. I wish I would have done more to protect him. You suddenly hear the centuries of life in Ivor's voice, and imagine all that he has seen. Ivor, I'm sure you do let go. You just keep going. He walks towards the village, leaving you alone with your thoughts. Let's face it, at the end of the day, in a choice between a father and his daughter, almost the entirety of the human race, if they were in a parent protecting their child, almost every single one of them would die to protect their child. So as far as I'm concerned, that was the right call. Chapter 8. From their homes must all flee. The travelling merchants are surprisingly well stocked. Ubin, the old Varl, dubbed Scavenger, says, "Since Borsgard, our numbers have grown. People have scrounged for food and eaten it too. Regardless, we'll need plenty of supplies considering our destination." Thanks, Ubin. Of course. Oh, I almost forgot. There's something ruffling the feathers of the ravens, the mercenaries who followed us from Borsgard. Chats with their leader, Blovak. But be careful, he's not like other Varl. Okay. Yeah. 28 days of resting or travel. A large population requires more supplies. Additional supplies at the market. Click to see what's available. You'll give you 5 per renown, and you need 7 supplies per day to survive. Okay. Last 28 days, you have 29 available to purchase from me. 15 more supplies. So that's 30 days worth. Markets also have items available. Okay. 3 will per kill. 2 strength, that's always handy. Protects from death unless strength is 1. Nifty. +2 range distance. Ooh, nice. That sounds promising. Costs a bucket load, but... +2 armor. Ah, that's +2 damage to armoring, I assume. Okay. I'm trying to remember a few things, but that, as a +2 range distance, would actually be incredibly useful. Interestingly, it's a rank 7 item, and the maximum rank in the previous game was 5, which almost certainly means that, yeah, we're actually, which probably means we're going to keep our levels from the previous game and be able to expand on them, which is fine. That makes perfect sense. So I'm going to spend, I'm going to take us down to 20 renown to make sure we've got 35 days of supplies. That seems sensible to me. So we also need to talk to some people. So, better talk to him, because he told us to. The Varl mercenary leader, Blovak, and a rather large female fighter are talking to Juno, a member of the spell-weaving Menders Council. Blovak looks annoyed. Nothing unusual there. There is no haggling on this. You have already accepted the offer in Borsgard. Get this one to do it. Get me to do what? If Juno is surprised by your presence, it doesn't show. She continues to stare straight at the Varl. Alette is seeing to the survival of this caravan, something I doubt you care to do. She's a little small for such a big role, isn't she? And you're big for your small role. The woman looks wounded for a brief moment, before readying an insult. This will help nothing. What we were discussing is private. Her look at Bolverk says that she expects him to keep it private. Eviad needs my help with healing the wounded, but we should leave soon. See Hacken at the docks when you're ready. Juno leaves without another word. Fen Valka. One of these days, Claw and Fang will get thirsty for the Spellweaver blood. Claw and Fang? His axes. The large axe heads are polished, the blade sharp, and the cheeks scarred from plenty of use. But it's the grey handles that stand out, for they're unlike anything you've seen before. So you're leading this rabble now. Only to Arbarang. Then it's King Meinholf's job. Looks like he's got the answer to any of this. He'll royally piss himself if he ever saw a dredge. The pig-tailed fighter laughs. What's your name? I'm Falka. Shield maiden in charge of keeping the ravens alive. Blovak gives her a stern look, but she doesn't back down. I already know who you are, chieftain. I heard there's a problem I should know about. The Varl seems to grow taller and more wild as he takes a step towards you. You stop to save every feign idiot along the river or get us all killed. Makes more sense to only stop the ships when we need supplies. Get rid of half these useless people too, they're slowing us down. The river dictates our speed on the ships. You've got rowers, use them. I'd hate for an accident to happen out on the water. Blovak snorts and turns his attention to a large sealed cart behind him. His bear-cloaked back indicates the conversation is over. At least kind of a dick, isn't he? Poor caravan morale causes a -2 willpower in battle. Maintain sufficient supplies and rest camp to improve morale. Thank you. Oddleaf, a friend and mentor, is demonstrating fletching an arrow to a few people as you approach. Give us a moment, will you? The group walks away as Oddleaf stands and wipes loose feathers from her tunic. Those people owe you their lives. Your decision to stop here saved every one of them. Well, our clansmen all agreed. Don't be naive. Saving people is what you do, what your father did. Those under this banner agreed because they follow you. Her tone is forceful, and you almost smile to break the tension. Almost. Alette, they respected Rook, and that respect has passed to you. But give them any reason to doubt you, and it will vanish. And I won't give them reason to doubt me. She stares at you for a drawn-out moment before nodding, and her demeanour softens. I wanted to discuss the clansmen. They're good at scavenging for food, and the more we have, the more food they'll find. Training some of them to fight will keep the others safe. It takes time. I'm not sure we have that much to spare. As our leader, you're expected to decide how many fight and how many look for food. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Odd. You turn to leave, but Oddleaf stops you, and she grabs you in a tight hug. Rook had a way of making it easy for us all to be stronger. Her words seem to be as much for her as they are for you. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. We have about all the supplies we can handle. We could rest for a day, build up morale a bit. But I'd rather just get the hell out of here. The wooden planks of the well-used dock creak as you walk across them. Hakon, a warrior recently acknowledged as the king of the Vaal, paces on the dock. Not sure I was made for this, he says as you approach. Commanding a battle is one thing, but deciding how many chickens we need to bring? I'm just as lost as you are at this.
Never thought I'd have something in common with a human girl,
Hakon says, smiling. But you still have to prove your people a girl can lead. I don't envy you that battle. He looks around and shrugs. Looks like we're ready. Let's sail. Depart. Incidentally, I'm sorry about the yawning. This is one of the problems with... If I'm talking constantly, reading out loads of stuff, it puts a strain on my vocal cords, and apparently I react by yawning. My apologies. After lighting the funeral pyre, the last villagers find seats on your rickety longships, built of scrap wood, scavenged in Borsgard. The ravens find space around a large cart on their black-sailed vessel, and oars slowly move all the boats into the river's current. Now we're going to see the caravan screen with boats. Oh, that's kind of cool. The complaints of a few are growing. What does she really know about getting us to Arborang safely? A smith says. A few others chime in with agreement. Her father was something else, but her? She should be looking for a husband, not telling me what to do. Some laugh, and others encourage him. Oddleaf looks at the group of men before turning to you. She seems interested in hearing your response. My father was great. I hope to be remembered as fondly. To Rook! Someone shouts. And to his blood flowing through Alette! The caravan joins in, cheering, drowning out the complaints of the smith and his men. Oddleaf gives you a faint smile. Hey, boost of morale, that's good. Alio looks ill. At least that's not the brackish sea, he whispers to himself as he steps around rowers and baggage to speak with you. I'm not sure we're all built for aquatic voyages, he says, and I hear Arborang is quite a distance away,
where people could use a few hours rest on solid ground.
The hopeful look from others sway you, and you signal for the ships to make land. Would you mind telling me where the capital's our destination? Alio asks. The Valka, Juno, says the Menders there can protect us. Menders? The skull showed a slump. We were all hoping for something more substantial. He realizes Evian and Juno can hear him. I thank you for healing my people, but we're talking about an army of dredge. The Valkyr and her apprentice share a smile, but say nothing. Dredge. Leo says almost in awe. Men and Val's storied foe from ever so long ago. But they're real. And they're here. And how they made it this far south? His glance at the Val was met with both anger and shame. The longship rocks gently as the Skeld grabs a rope to steady himself. If only we had the fabled horses to ride upon, would outpace the dredge and be on sound footing. His dramatized misery is almost amusing, as his thanks when he steps back onto land. Improved morale. Map of the world. Okay.
After having a last finish, hurriedly embarked from...
Borsgard, an aging settlement. Yeah. I didn't actually bother looking at the map at all in the previous game, so I doubt I really need to look at it here. As Strom led some of the first men east, Ormsdala was one of the most important places they settled, nestled in the crook where the Orsmar River splits. If Borsgard and Osmala were twins, Orsmala would be the righteous brother trying to keep his evil twin from hurting anyone else. So we've got a long way to go. Reaching Arborang, the human capital, is the ultimate goal of the caravan. It is hoped the walls of the ancient city will provide safety against the deepening catastrophe. From humble beginnings to the eventual seat of power for the king, Arborang is the most populated and contested city throughout the human lands. Its towering obsidian walls have been pulled from the depths by weaving power of the Menders, and each new generation of residents builds another ring of walls. The city grows larger, more indulgent, and more dangerous.
Yes, thank you, I know.
So if I click there, thank you. When you're finished, click this button. Okay. Turn, thank you. Not going to do that. Number of days passed shown here each turn. Supplies were consumed. Morale drops during continuous travel, and when supplies run low. In order to raise morale, you must camp and allow your caravan to rest. Number of days worth of remaining supplies is shown as insufficient supplies, because people will get starved, morale will drop. Click to camp. Click rest now. Heroes tent and inspect to promote your heroes. Click the heroes tent now. Items. Your items shown at the bottom of the roster. Okay. Okay, so it looks like... yeah. So yeah, I think they're at the ranks they were previously. So yeah, Sundering Impact. Heavy Impact. Okay. And I could promote him if I wanted, but I'm not going to for now. Because for now I want to put you two in my squad. Because you're pretty badass. In fact, you are very badass if memory serves. You're the one with the Rain of Arrows ability. Yep. So yep, that allows me to lock the enemy down. It's definitely worth doing. And what's it going to cost? 13 renown, which is basically most of my renown, but higher stats and talents. Choose a second ability. Ooh. Slag and Burn. Siege Archer throws a 5-tile area of slag on the ground, which explodes immediately. That's useful. Bird of Prey, which is useful. Slag and Burn. You're getting Slag and Burn, because that's very handy. You have 2 points available, which are going to go into your... well, willpower would seem the obvious choice, given that there's not much else to spend it on. Technically, I could promote you again, but that would require 15 renown, which I don't have. Yes, you are very, very powerful. And I'm going to promote you, because I do actually have the renown to do that. And I'm going to be making heavy use of her, because, well, she's pretty much the main character of the game, so... because I spent most of the last game leveling up Rook, and now he's unfortunately gone and gotten killed. So, yeah. So I'll be spending some renown there later. So she's currently holding... what are we all holding? Now that's Bracelet, +1 arm, +1 strength. It's fine. Your Necklace. Magic Rune, +15 dodge strength attacks. +2 strength, that's very useful on her because she does decent damage. Knockback on strength attacks +3, yep. And you are pretty awesome as well, because you do a lot of long range damage. Yeah, so I'm going to start using him, obviously, because he just hits like a bloody freight train. Yeah, so what was his ability? Ah, yes, he's got Tempest, which is very good for when he gets surrounded. So, yes, so you want to be in our party. Who else do we need? I think that's a reason. Feels like Ivor should be in the party as well. Actually, bloody Evian should be in the party. Another one who hits like a bleeding train. His abilities are just very, very powerful. So... take Harkin out because I don't use him terribly much. You, what's your ability? Tale worth telling. Extends his target, defeats strength of heroism. His words buff an ally for 1 round, adding 1 damage to every 2 strength. Okay, so you're primarily a support unit. I'm not going to use you terribly much if I'm honest. So instead I'm going to put Ivor back in. Yeah. What's your ability again? You've got Thread the... I remember Thread the Needle, yes. As I remember a lot of the abilities now that I'm thinking about it. So, yep, you headbutt them for the most subtle of all attacks. Right. Probably should have more melee guys, if I'm honest, because at the moment, ranged, magic wielder, ranged, melee. But ranged units are actually really good in this game. I'll leave that squad for now and see if that, see how it holds up in actual combat. Right, I think that's a good point to end this part, actually, so I will say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.